Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 10th. We're looking at the S&P 500, and here's what we have for the day here. So yesterday we traded, finally started to get some momentum. We said if we would hold down there, which we held by far, we held, didn't even get anywhere near what we said we'd need to take out for lower. So that all held. We traded up here to this 52 half, and then this was close to the all-time high previously, I think. Here we had right here. All-time high before was 57.75. So here was the all-time high right here. This was at 58, 58 quarter. Pulled back just a little bit, a few points, and we went right through that. So yesterday we had that, what was it? It was like 61, it might have been 62 half, something like that. And then we had, so the high right here, 64.75, we probed up there, 65 half. So up above 65 half, so we've got that 68, which we haven't quite gotten to. Okay, so here are a few prices that we want to pay attention to here today. We've got this 56, 58 quarter, 60 quarter, 62, and then right here, 64 quarter. So we traded up here to 65 half. They're probably going to want to try and come up here to that 68, and then up above 68. They could come up to this like 74 area. Might need to look at what we had there yesterday, but then 77 quarter, and then 80, 75, and then above that it starts getting much stronger for higher up into here. So 88, 75. So we'll just see how this goes. I mean, it's pretty much been a one-way. If we don't get any pullback from up here, I mean, this thing just keeps going, and we could even see up here to this 3400. That's a 20-point gap. So if we got up here, even in a fairly strong market, depending on how it got there, if it was a slow grind up there, it just depends. But in a pretty strong moving market, we'd even expect a reaction from up in this area if we got that high. So 3400. So above here, really, above here, kind of one at a time. These are close together. These are only a couple of points apart, 3 points apart. So above here, kind of one at a time. That's back up to 88, and then above 88 would be to 3400, and then above here, above the 68. Got to keep an eye on the 74 area, but that should at least get us to 77. So above here, one at a time. Above here, one at a time. Above up there, one at a time. So let's talk pullback for a minute. So not at all out of the question that we could pull back here to the KP at 52 half. Not at all out of the question. So we've used this. We've pretty much used this already. If this doesn't hold the 62, and I know that's high, so that's very aggressive. So if that 62 doesn't hold, then likely we're going to come back down to the KP. Now if the KP doesn't hold, then we could come all the way back down and use this 41 quarter or even 38.75. And then below that it starts getting a lot weaker. So that's a pretty big, we're talking about a fairly significant. So if we got below 52, we're saying all the way back to 41 at least, maybe even back to 34. So that's fairly significant. If it were to break, and I don't know that, that would be a lot of movement. That's 30 points of movement already. So if it were to break, then there's a lot more room to run. These were old from another previous day, so basically there's a lot more room down here. If we take this out, we could come all the way back down to that 20 area, and if we took that out, we could come back down into 09. So wait, that's an old, so 06 area. So below here starts getting a lot more selling pressure. Below here there could be a scalp opportunity down to lower down here. And then kind of one at a time from there. So there you have it, and we'll see you in the live trade signals.